After a long time, the Prophet of Allah, Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salam, set out on a journey alone, riding upon his miraculous flying throne. During his journey, he suddenly saw a jinn appear before him, looking terrified and bewildered. He asked, "Why are you so afraid? What has happened to you?" The jinn replied in a trembling voice, "O Messenger of Allah, near a place called Babylon, there is a group of jinn who are committing terrible oppression upon the people. Not only that, they practice sorcery and are destroying the faith of ordinary believers. They are leading people away from the path of truth. They are also oppressing us. O honorable teacher, please bring justice against them." Upon hearing these words, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam did not delay for even a single moment. At once, he mounted his miraculous flying throne and set out toward Babylon. By the divine power granted to him, he reached the stronghold of those jinn in just a single breath. He said, "O arrogant nation of jinn, fear Allah and follow his path." But the jinn did not realize how immense the power Allah the Almighty had granted to Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Their leader, filled with arrogance, spoke out, "We fear no one, we obey no one." At that moment, some of the jinn surrounded Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam and his flying throne. In unison, they shouted, "Who are you? We do not know you. If you truly possess any power, then try to capture us." Upon hearing the arrogant words of the jinn, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam revealed one of his miraculous signs. As soon as he looked toward them, a fierce storm erupted, thunder roared in the skies, the ground split open, and massive iron chains emerged. In an instant, one of the jinn was seized and bound tightly, unable to move even an inch. Seeing this, the remaining jinn, trembling with fear, fell at his feet, and in a desperate voice said, "Have mercy. Who are you?" He said, "I am the son of Dawud, the messenger of Allah, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Allah has made me the sovereign of this world. I warn you, do not spread corruption on this earth anymore. If you continue, the punishment of Allah will surely destroy you." After this warning, all the jinn brought faith in Allah and accepted Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam as a messenger. They pledged that they would never again oppress anyone, nor spread corruption on the earth. From that day onward, the jinn also came under his command. Not only humans, but even the jinn would appear in the court of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam and obey his commands. One day, as he was seated upon his royal throne, suddenly Queen Bilqis appeared in his court and said in a humble voice, "O Prophet of Allah, you travel from one end of the earth to the other upon your flying throne. If you would grant me the chance to journey across the world on this throne just once, my life would be truly blessed. I long to witness with my own eyes the endless wonders of Allah's creation." Hearing the queen's request, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam remained silent for a moment. Then he said, "If Allah wills, surely your wish will be fulfilled." Then they both ascended the flying throne together. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam commanded the wind, saying, "O wind, carry us to the most beautiful and wondrous places created by Allah." Immediately, the wind lifted their flying throne and carried them high into the skies. They crossed one after another of the 7 seas. Suddenly, they beheld an island in the midst of the ocean, surrounded by breathtaking beauty. At the command of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, the wind gently set the throne down upon that island. Thereafter, they were enchanted by the beauty of the island and began to admire its wonders. The queen beheld countless unknown birds, colorful creatures, and the breathtaking scenery reflected in the calm, crystal clear waters all around. Overwhelmed, she exclaimed, "O my Lord, O great Allah, how beautiful is your creation! There is no way to deny the blessings you have bestowed upon us." As Queen Bilqis finished praising the creation of Allah, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam noticed some winged horses flying above her head. Their forms were of extraordinary beauty, unmatched by anything he had ever seen. Amazed by this unprecedented sight, he gazed at them in wonder, but the horses moved so swiftly that in the blink of an eye, they vanished from sight. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam then said, "Wait here for a moment. I will go and observe this wondrous creation of Allah more closely." Saying this, he set off on his flying throne in pursuit of the winged horses. But no matter how hard he tried, he could not catch sight of them again. Somehow, they had completely vanished from view. Finally, he returned and rejoined Queen Bilqis in the royal court. The next day, a council was held in the royal court. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam convened a meeting with the wise scholars, commanders, and nobles. He asked, "Do any of you know who those wondrous winged horses were? Where might they be found?" One of the commanders replied, "We have never seen such horses with our own eyes, nor have we ever even heard of them. However, we have heard that the king of the Jinn possesses deep knowledge of all kinds of creatures and creations. Perhaps he can tell us," one commander said. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam then said, "All right then, summon the king of the Jinn." Then, some soldiers went to the land of the Jinn and spoke while remaining unseen. "O king of the Jinn, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam has commanded you to appear in his court." Immediately, the king of the Jinn appeared in the court of Sulaiman alayhi salam. "With great respect," he said, "My master, I am always ready to obey your command. You have summoned me. What is your order?" Sulaiman alayhi salam replied, "In the middle of the sea, on an island, I saw some wondrous horses with wings. Capture a few of them and bring them to me." Hearing this, the face of the king of the Jinn darkened. He stood there, stunned and speechless. Sulaiman alayhi salam asked, "What is the matter? Why are you silent? Carry out my command at once." The king of the Jinn replied respectfully, "Master, assign me any other task, and I will fulfill it. But this task, I truly cannot accomplish. Please have mercy and excuse me from this command." At that moment, a soldier present in the court scolded him. "Are you saying, O king of the Jinn, that you refuse to obey the command of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam?" The king of the Jinn said, "No, my master, I am not disobedient. But the winged horses are so fast that they vanish into the sky before we can reach them. It is impossible for us to capture them. However, there is a Jinn named Shamdan, who, out of fear of Sulaiman alayhi salam, is hiding deep beneath the sea. Perhaps he can accomplish this task." Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "Then go, bring Shamdan, and with his help, capture those horses and bring them here." The king of the Jinn, along with his companions, reached the edge of the sea and began calling out loudly, "O Shamdan, come out. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam is calling you." But there was no response. Then the king of the Jinn devised a clever plan. He said, "O Shamdan, I have great news for you. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam has passed away. His kingdom no longer exists." Hearing this, Shamdan became overjoyed and lost in excitement. He thought, Sulaiman alayhi salam is dead. Finally, freedom. Now perhaps the world will come under our control. In his elation, Shamdan rose from the depths of the sea with a few companions, and approached the king of the Jinn. Then the king of the Jinn said, "O Shamdan, there is no time to hide anymore. Sulaiman alayhi salam is no more. Now the dominion of this world is ours. So, without delay, let us move quickly." On their journey, they covered a considerable distance. As they reached the middle of the road, suddenly, the king of the Jinn captured them, and swiftly brought them to the royal court. Upon seeing Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, Shamdan the Jinn trembled with fear and remorse, for he had committed many wrongs before. In desperation, he pleaded, "My master, out of fear of you, I have been hiding beneath the sea all this time. This wretched one stands before you, the gravest of sinners. I know the punishment for my past crimes is death, yet I beg your forgiveness. Please spare my life. I will never disobey again." Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, in anger and compassion, said, "O Shamdan, I will forgive your crimes if you can accomplish a task for me." Shamdan asked, "My master, tell me, what can I do?" He asked. "In the middle of the sea, there is a beautiful island, where the winged horses reside. Capture a few of them and bring them to me." Hearing this, Shamdan was astonished, but he said nothing. He, along with his companions, reached the island in the middle of the sea. Shamdan informed, the winged horses were so fast that capturing them seemed nearly impossible. But Shamdan had a plan. He said, "When they fly and become tired, they will descend to drink water. We will mix a sedative into that water. If the horses drink it, they will become intoxicated, and then we can tie them with ropes." Everyone agreed to this clever idea. They quickly went to the spot, mixed the sedative into the water, and hid. After a while, one by one, the exquisitely beautiful winged horses flew down to drink from the water. Within moments, they became intoxicated and lost their ability to fly. At that very moment, the Jinn bound them with ropes. Finally, they captured all the horses and, They were brought before Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. The horses were so exquisitely beautiful that no one could take their eyes off them. Even Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam himself became so captivated that he momentarily forgot his duty. It was the last moments of the Asr prayer, and the sun was nearly setting. Lost in their beauty, he could not perform the prayer. Suddenly, he remembered his obligation, and, startled, went into the royal court to offer his prayer. He then repented, saying, "O Allah, I did not realize I have been distracted from your worship, captivated by this beauty. Forgive me." He began to weep uncontrollably. At that moment, the Almighty Allah Ta'ala instructed his angel, Jibreel alayhi salam, saying, "O Jibreel, tell the sun to wait and not set until the Asr prayer is completed by my command." Jibreel alayhi salam, he went to the sun and said, "O sun, by his command, you shall wait for a while at your setting time until Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam completes his prayer." Exegesis scholars have mentioned that on that day, the sun did not set at its usual time. Meanwhile, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam quickly completed his prayer. As soon as he finished, the sun set. Then, his heart heavy with emotion, he wept uncontrollably and prayed earnestly to Allah. "O my Allah, you are most merciful. I had forgotten and, captivated by worldly beauty, I became distracted from your worship. Please forgive me." Then, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam became determined regarding the horses. He said, "Go, bring these horses before me." Following the command, the horses were brought forward one by one. At that moment, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam cut the wings of all the horses. Just then, a mysterious voice was heard from the sky. "O Sulaiman, you have proven that everything in this world is insignificant, and that your love for Allah is supreme above all." One day, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam was teaching the people and the jinn about the religion. They were discussing destiny and fate. Among those present was a very powerful jinn. Suddenly, he said, "My master, if destiny is unfavorable, can we change it?" Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam replied, "Destiny is predetermined by Allah." Then the jinn said, "No, I will change it. Give me a few years, and I will prove it." The debate continued. Finally, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam granted him a few years to accomplish this task. One day, the jinn sat alone, pondering how he could accomplish it. He was flying over a place when he saw, near the kingdom, at the gate of a wealthy man's grand palace, some little girls playing. He became invisible and abducted one of the girls. Far away, in a secluded spot deep in the forest, he placed the girl in a room and brought food. The jinn, taking the form of a dervish, said, "Do not worry, nothing will happen. Everything will be fine in a few days. For now, eat this and rest." The girl could not understand where she had ended up. She spent her days in great difficulty, and gradually began to adapt. One day, the girl said to the jinn, "Can you bring me the things I need?" The jinn replied, "Certainly, I will return shortly. Stay in this room." When the jinn left the room, the girl saw him vanish before her eyes. In her mind, she thought, "This is not a human, it must be something else," for she had not seen a human in many years. Fearfully, she stood alone, looking out toward the forest. Many years passed. The girl had now reached young adulthood, and the jinn thought, "She has grown up. I was debating with Sulaiman alayhi salam, and now I will show that I can succeed." One night, a fierce storm raged. The girl, alone in the room, became terrified. Suddenly, from outside, two voices called out, "Is anyone home? Please give us some shelter." In this secluded forest, many years later, on a stormy day, hearing the voices of strangers, the girl was startled and said, "Who are you?" The two men replied, "We are travelers. Once the storm stops, we will depart in the morning." The girl gave them shelter. One of them was poor, and the other was wealthy. The girl said nothing. The night passed. The next morning, they asked the girl, "Who are you? How did you come here alone?" The girl replied, "I am a captive of a jinn. Many years ago, he abducted me. I do not know much more, but you should leave this place, for the jinn may come." Then the wealthy young man said, "We will protect you from that jinn." The young woman said, "You cannot confront him. Please leave." The poor man said, "The young man is actually the prince of a small kingdom, and I am his boatman. We were going fishing, but due to the storm, the boat sank. To survive, we took shelter here." Then the young man asked, "I want to know, Why has that jinn kept you captive like this? The girl replied, I do not know anything, but he could harm you. With that, he kept you hidden inside the room. Meanwhile, the time for the jinn to arrive had come. Suddenly, the jinn entered the room carrying some food and said, What is happening? Today feels different. Has any human come here? The girl said, What are you saying? In the middle of such a secluded forest, where would humans come from? Your assumption is wrong. The jinn paused for a moment and said, All right. I am leaving. I have some important matters in the royal court. It may take me a few days to return here. Saying this, he departed. The boatman then said, You two should marry, and leave this forest to start living among humans. I will go to the house alone. After a few days, I will bring people to rescue you. Their marriage was completed, and the boatman set off toward the city. After several days, they began living happily and peacefully. However, they still wished to escape from the jinn, but it was not possible. After a few days, when it was time for the jinn to arrive, the young man was hidden. Suddenly, the jinn appeared and said to the girl, Be ready. I will take you, and this room, to the court of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. I have waited all these years just to win a debate, and I will breathe only in victory. A little while later, the jinn flew with the room and appeared before the royal court of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. He said, My master, 10 years ago, I debated with you. You said that destiny is predetermined and can never be changed. But look, I have altered destiny. This girl in the room was supposed to marry a king's son, but on the stormy night, the boat sank, and he died. Now, this girl must marry someone else. I am showing how I have changed destiny. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam said, Open the door of this room. A soldier opened it, and the girl along with her husband stepped out together. The jinn was astonished. He could not even believe his own eyes. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam asked, Who are you? What were you doing inside this room? And who is this young man with you? The girl revealed everything to Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. After that, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam ordered the execution of the jinn. Dear viewers, from this incident, we can learn many lessons. No matter how valuable anything is in this world, it is very little in the sight of Allah. Therefore, we should not become captivated by worldly desires and forget the hereafter. Just as all the prophets and messengers obeyed Allah's commands, we too should follow Allah's orders and the path of the prophets and messengers. May Allah grant us all the ability to walk on the right path. Ameen.